Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the VULCAN Report. This end of day report is for trading on Thursday, October the 6th, 2016. Since the last video, as you can see looking at the chart of JNUG, you can see that the Federal Reserve, the central banks, they had no choice. They have no more bullets left in their gun. So now, in order to raise funds for their continued enterprise of manipulation and fraud, they have no choice but to dump millions and billions of dollars worth of paper gold onto the market. This drives down the price of gold. It's a raid, but it's a short-term raid, because I'm here to tell you that unbeknownst to the masses, there is another leg coming in the global currency war and the rush toward natural resources. What they are not telling you versus what they are telling you is two different things. They want the holders of precious metals to become so disgusted that they start to relinquish their physical. That's what they want you to do, so that they can buy up all the physicals at a discounted price. That's what this is about. What you need to understand is that as a result of decades worth of fraud and manipulation and purposely destroying the nation's economies of the world, a rare situation has occurred that they cannot control. That situation is the explosion, the pending explosion in gold and silver prices. This in turn will help to lift the mining shares to astronomical levels. This action that has taken place on the weekly chart is setting up and setting the stage for the most enormous bull run in precious metals in my lifetime, or any other lifetime for that matter. I cannot stress to you the urgency of this situation. What I'm talking about is more important than the Hurricane Matthew that is hitting landfall. This has implications that will last for your children and your children's children's future. The hurricane will come and it will go. But what's about to take place in the precious metal space is going to be a long-lasting effect. What do I mean by this? Nations of the world outside of the U.S., sovereign wealth funds, etc., behind the scenes are accumulating as much physical as they can. In turn, they are also secretly positioning themselves to participate in driving up the price of the precious metals and the paper markets as well. They know that their actions cannot not affect the paper market. Remember what I've taught you going all the way back to 2009, 2010, when I first came to YouTube. One of the first tenets of trading and market dynamics and manipulation that I taught you is that before they balloon and bubble something up, they crash it first. They are losing control, and this is about to be exposed. I also warned you about the Federal Reserve's defense of the US dollar. They have no choice but to keep that dollar propped up. The stock market is never going down again. I've already exposed and explained that to you. The up and down situations you've been seeing for the last 5 trading sessions is nothing but range bound trading. No supports have been taken out. The stock market is never going down again. They're setting up to make the stock market go to heights you have not seen. I'm telling you, 20 to 50,000 Dow before this is all said and done. It's going to be ridiculous. The mining shares are going to run 1,000, 5,000, 10,000% right along with the gold and silver physicals. The paper market will be along for the ride as well. This is a rare situation. It is a currency war. Gold and silver are currencies. And right now it's looking like the dollar is winning. That's what they want you to think. They're about to lose control of that too, because as the precious metals take off, it is going to put them in a very, very difficult situation, because then they won't be able to keep the stock market going afloat and prop the dollar up at the same time. So it's going to be ridiculous going forward. So what's going to end up happening is they're going to release the reins on the dollar. They won't be able to defend it much longer, and because they're going to have to put all the money into the stock market, and they won't be able to suppress the gold and silver paper prices anymore either. So they're going to make that also go. And it's just going to be bananas. It's going to be ridiculous. So I'm warning everyone right now, and all those on the sound of my voice, if you missed out on the first run up here of this long-term basis building for this enormous bull market rally, I strongly urge you to get ready. You do not want to miss this when we start having gapping up days of several dollars in the JNUG and also in the Nugget. Alright, let me show you those charts so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. As you can see, Nuggets looking the same. It's testing the bottom support level of the Kumo cloud right now. Alright, the market is oversold. When this bounce to the upside comes, it's going to be bananas. Alright, you cannot forget what I've taught you about gapping. This gap is going to need to be filled even if the market continues down for a few more days. Again, this here has to be dealt with. This gap is not going to be left unfilled. Neither is this gap. Alright, so you have two major gaps that need to be filled. That's going to send the price back above 15 on the JNUG. Right now it's at 993. You know it's going to go somewhere in here before it hits resistance at 1692. Alright, so your upward levels of resistance now is 1298, 1692, and $20.20 before getting back up in here somewhere. Understand what's about to take place. Likewise, in the Nugget, upward resistance is at 1450, 1812, and $20.81 before getting into the air pocket, which is the bottom of the Kumo cloud, which is a thin layer, a thin veiled layer. So that's going to serve as a very weak resistance. Help blast it back to the 27.5, get it back up to the 30, build a base here around the 27.5, and then we should be able to boogie. And you're looking at about probably $40 before the next support levels have to be built. And this is in the Nugget. Looking at your GLD, major gap up in here, major gap here. Overhead resistance is at 122.14, 124.79, and 125.85. Puts it into the Kumo cloud of death. And then from there, the next support levels to be built for the next upward thrust will be at 128, building up toward the 130, getting up to about 134, pulling back, building the base back at 130, blasting off to 140 and 150. Looking at the gold futures, it's acting and responding and doing exactly what I told you it was going to do. I told you that the 1250 level would be where the support line is, and that it would be in play, and that's exactly what is happening right now. So even if this market were to pull back down here toward the top of the Kumo cloud, again, you're looking at the 1217 level. Again, you have a sloping thin cloud here, which normally serves as very very weak support. What that means is there are times where you can parabolically dip below it, but it has like a rubber band effect and it pops right back up. This is a sloper, so it's almost like a ramp that helps to propel back up again. So 1377.6 is going to be the first upward thrust level of resistance, pulling back to the 1350, building your base, and then taking off and getting back up to 1390, and then of course back up to 1400. 1400 is the psychological barrier, but it's going to be a very strong support in the first parabolic move in the gold going forward. I cannot stress to you enough how much this is going to play out and how much you're going to see it before your eyes. You're going to want to bookmark this video so that you can use this as a reference going forward, because as this happens, it's going to blow you away step by step, the support levels and resistance levels that I've been giving you. Watch how they play out and how the algorithms and bots kick in at those levels to help propel the markets to where they're going to be going. Now looking at First Majestic is acting just like the gold chart. Just how I showed you. All right, so here you are here. The market has this gap that is not dealt with. This gap has not been dealt with. All right, so you know here again, super sloper on this one. This one should be propelled way up into over 20 when it gets its first takeoff. 20 will be the new major support going forward as this pushes up to 30 and 40. Get ready, because once you hit the ramp, you're not going to have much time to do a lot in this one. This is going to be fabulous. Alright, and this is AG. Alright, looking at Pretty Ricky, Richmont. Look, Richmont is already at that support level and it didn't even come to the trend line support level, but look at the super ramp on this one. Guys, I cannot stress to you enough how high these mining shares are going to explode to the upside, and you're oversold here. I can't stress it enough. Alright, I'll be making another video. I just want to make this one short. This is the dollar index. See how they've been defending it, and you can see how it's still in a negative pulse wave situation. They're doing all they can to try to make this thing go, but this is the inverse of the other chart that I showed you. The ramp is on the downside on this one, which is going to help to catapult prices lower, and it's going to be disastrous. So just wanted to let you know about that. Remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can, give nothing back. Peace.